Hey y'all, what's up? Okay, so your girl just became an affiliate for Kiara LASHAE, teamlashae.com. Check down below in the description box where you can get waist trainers, booty bands, this cute little lavender yoga fit that I had got. Okay, it was real cute. I've been working out in it, y'all. I'm getting my life to Kiara LASHAE, but I'm also getting my life to this ISO T. Y'all can play around if y'all want to, but it has definitely helped me see results in my workout. Definitely dropped some water weight. Definitely been cleaning out my colon and such. Okay, get your colon clean. All right, y'all. Links to everything down below. Team LASHAE, TLCT. Get that ISO T in your life, okay? Oh, and also, don't forget about Omiage. Get you some. Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondy Blue, and I'm back for Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 2, Episode 1, Melody Special Delivery Part 1. All right, now y'all, I completely forgot about doing this review. I must have missed it in my notes, but I was so excited about doing P-Valley that it kind of like, whoo, was out there somewhere. But then I was reading the comments for Married to Medicine or one of the reviews, and they were like, you know, you should think about doing Love and Marriage Huntsville. And I'm like, honey, I already do Love and Marriage Huntsville. Oh yeah, I forgot to do Love and Marriage Huntsville. So yeah, there's a playlist of my Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 1 reviews if y'all want to check that out. But yeah, you guys, let's go ahead and get into this. So this season started off where the last one left off. We had the reunion. Things were a little bit explosive. Melody got pregnant by Martel. And then on Facebook, Martel's mistress sprayed him and all of their information. He was playing it like they had stopped talking to each other, but really they had not, okay? So she sprayed all of the information out there, which caused him to post stuff. Mel was like, it was just messy. It was messy. And since then, Tisha and Marceau have further gotten into it with Martel and Melody over social media. And yeah, things have just been very, very messy in anticipation for a new season, I'm sure. But that's fine because I'm thoroughly entertained, Carlos, so I'm here. So Mel is doing a pregnancy photo shoot, okay? And Martel is a part of it. They're trying to get the spark back, y'all. They're working it out. I'm like, I knew they were gonna work it out. And Mel is like, for everybody that knew before I did that I wasn't gonna leave Martel, congratulations. You need to get a job as a psychic, honey, because I didn't even know that. And I'm like, yeah, you didn't know that because you were on the inside of the situation. On the outside looking in, I saw two people who were still having sex, a woman who loves her husband, a nice looking husband. We have businesses, we have money, we have 3 children, and I am now pregnant with a 4th, and this is one mistress. Yeah, I knew you were going to let that go. I probably would have let that go. I mean, I don't know, because Martel is hella disrespectful, and I would have had to like hurt him physically. And if I was pregnant, I couldn't hurt him physically, so I would just have to remove myself from the situation. But from what we understand, there was some momentary separation that did not last. So here we are today with these folks at a maternity shoot trying to work it out. Mel says that there are some days when she is okay with Martel, and then there are other days when she wants to smack him. He once again turns to her in the confessional and says that he's so sorry for everything that he has put her through. Martel is asked about the mistress, okay, during one of his separate confessionals, and he doesn't want to talk about it anymore. He says it's been out there, it's in the past, and he is no longer going to comment on it. And I'm just kind of like, but you're going to continue to be petty with Marceau and bring up his foolishness. You see, I'm sorry, but there's a level of like bitch assness to Martel. You know, he revels in messiness a little bit too much to me. And it shows a thirst for attention even when he's already getting attention. You know, it's sad when people don't have their parents the way they should. I mean, y'all know that that's what this is about. Eventually, his therapist will tell him that his father not being there in his life gave him a lack of emotional support, therefore not knowing how to deal with his emotions properly. But for right now, Mel and Martel are in a much better space than where they started off. And Mel wants to be clear with everyone that Martel is doing everything she is asking him to do. If you go somewhere, I want a video chat. You're going to show me where you are. Okay, I want phone calls and text messages at all times. He's not hanging out late. He's changed the way he's moving so that she will feel comfortable, which is what she was asking for last season, but he wasn't ready to give it yet. She had to get pregnant and he had to realize he could possibly lose that and have somebody else raising his children. And that's what that's about. Like, more than anything, Martel wants to be a good father in spite of him not having one. And I feel that there was a fear that he would inadvertently end up being like his father by being pushed out of the household. Even if he was present, another man being in your spot, takes you out of the forefront. You know what I'm saying? It takes you out of the household. And I think that he was going to make sure that that didn't happen once he realized what was at stake. I think at the beginning he didn't think that Mel would leave him. But he's listening to her. Therapy's helping. Good for them. Good for them. They have a baby. Good for them. Then we see Mel go talk to her brother Marcus. Her brother Marcus is a teacher at a public school, at a high school. So a lot of the kids watch the show and they would say, Mr. Marcus, you just gonna let that man play with your sister like that? You ain't gonna put them paws on him. So Marcus had to have a conversation with Martel and tell him that he was not going to disrespect this man's sister again, okay? And Melody was like, that's right, Marcus. You better speak up for your sister, okay? I love Mel. But Mel is his much younger sister by a different mother, I believe. They have the same father. And she's having the baby shower, this big old baby shower. She asked for him to come, and she also wants their dad to come. And Marcus is like, well, pick up the phone and call him. And she's like, I just really don't talk to him often. But she does, intend to reach out and ask him if he will come because she wants to try to fix that relationship as well. So Sadaric comes over to the house to help Martel put together a crib for the new baby. And they talk about, the group text and the Facebook group that everybody's in. And like, everybody's in this Facebook group, okay? And this is where all the tea and receipts and text messages and pictures were dropped about the Aryan girl, about the mistress. And apparently Sadaric knows the girl because they would all frequent this restaurant and the girl worked there. Sadaric wants us to believe that he didn't know about the affair until everybody else found out. I said I don't believe that. I think that Sadaric knew. I think a lot of them knew. And I think, all through last season, before it was all put out there, the men were well aware of what was going on. Like, these men talk too much for me to believe that Sadaric did not know who Martel's mistress was, especially if y'all have all been around one another. And Sadaric is, questioning the way Martel describes the mistress's character, because he's like, she got disrespectful with my wife and that's why I called her a peasant. It's like last season, that did not seem to be the reason why. You were the person doing the most disrespecting to your wife. So to now try to put that on the other woman, I feel like it's just always him trying to shift blame instead of taking responsibility fully. This is not fully taking responsibility when you're trying to blame the mistress because she called your wife, as if your wife is not upset about the cheating either way. But I do understand that when your hoes are kept in check, it's less of a mess. And this hoe wasn't kept in check. She just wasn't. So then the Holtz, okay, Martel, Melody, the kids, and Mel's mom go to get a 3D ultrasound so that they can see the baby's face. Their kids are there. It's a beautiful experience. And after she and her mom have a conversation together about how Mel and Martel are in a much better place and how everybody is happy about that. And they also talk about Melody wanting to invite her dad to the baby shower. And her mom has always been one of those moms that even though she has issue with Melody's dad, she doesn't speak, ill towards him. She never says anything bad about him in front of Mel, which is very important. I know a lot of women don't care about that, but you should. Just saying. Then we see Melody meet with her baby shower planners and they discuss this competition to pick the baby name. And I remember when they did that online. I forgot the name they ended up picking, but I'm sure we'll talk about it next episode. So while they're discussing, the plans, they need a list of the final head count. And so she calls Kimmy to make sure that Kimmy is coming. And Kimmy wants to know if Tisha and Marceau are invited. And of course they're not invited, okay? And Mel explains to us how things got even more nasty online after the reunion. And then they brought Melody's mom in it. They said something about her mom. And Tisha's mom was always being disrespectful and coming at people. So yeah, okay, the friendship just is done with for now. Then we see Martel go to therapy with Dr. Francis. Shout out to Dr. Francis. I think he is a great therapist. I think he is the perfect therapist for Martel because he is honest enough and shocked enough by some of the ignorant shit that Martel says. Like, I appreciate his approach. But he talks about how he and Melody are in a better space now and how it's all the mistress's fault for reaching out to his wife. He says that he believes Mel loves him unconditionally. And Dr. Francis says, so that means that this should never happen again. And he's like, yes, it won't ever happen again. And I'm not sure if I believe that. I'm just not. Then they discuss Martel's dad not being in his life. And at first, Martel couldn't see how his father not being there affected him negatively because he feels like he's been a good father despite that, especially not growing up seeing it, you know. The therapist was like, really, you never saw a dad around? He was like, no, I grew up in a project where nobody's dad was around and I'm there for my kids. I hug my kids. I take care of them. I am a nurturer to them. And that is important. And I want to take my hat off to him for that because there are a lot of dads that feel like that's not, you know, their job, i.e. Marceau. But that is ridiculous. It is very much your responsibility when it comes to the positivity that is being poured into your child. And your absence is a lack of pouring, okay? And you being in a house does not mean that you are present. The doctor makes him realize that him wanting to be there for his kids is something that happened in spite of his father not being there for him, but it's why. You went through that and you thought to yourself, I have to be there for my kids because I can't have my kids experiencing what I've experienced. So in one way or another, his absence has definitely affected you. And it also caused Martel to operate with less emotional awareness. And I was like, wow. Like, because that's what it really is. Like, his thirst of attention from his father created this lack of emotional awareness, which is why he can smile and say such heinous things at the same time and not understand the gravity of what he's just said. You know what I'm saying? At the baby shower, the Holts pull up in a horse and carriage, just like they did on their wedding day. They left in horse and carriage, and now they're returning with their 3 kids and 1 in the oven, and it's beautiful. You know, everybody's outside waiting for them, and, you know, when they pull up, everybody is waving and saying hello, and it's real bougie royal family realness, okay? They are extra, and I'm not mad at it. Whatever you can afford, whatever makes you happy. They have a couple who are their friends. It's Destiny and her husband. I forgot what the husband's name is, but he said a long prayer where he said, Lord Jesus, at least 500 times. And Destiny in her ponytail, you know, she thinks she funny, but she a little messy as far as I'm concerned. I was like, oh, you coming on here with a splash, ain't you? So the mothers, Martel and Mel's mom, talk while they're eating. And Martel's mama feels like, you know, they're doing better. That's why I think we should just leave them alone. And Mel's mom is like, oh, I talked to him several times and expressed how I felt to him, but he was receptive. And Martel's mom was like, oh, yeah? And then she didn't say nothing else. You can tell there's been some disagreement in how, you know, things should be handled. But at the end of the day, it's hard for you to say that when your child is the one doing the hurting. Mel and Destiny talk, and she tells Melody that she's 9 weeks pregnant. So, you know, they're happy for her and everything. I think they're newlyweds as well. But either way, Mel and Kimmy are talking, and once again, Kimmy is bringing up Tisha, and I wish she would stop being a spokesperson for them. They dug their own grave with Mel and Martel. Just let it be what it is. Mel says that Tisha reached out to her and she didn't answer, and then, you know, maybe a few days or a week later, she was on Twitter talking mess about Melody again. So Mel was like, I thought it was fake then, and when I saw that she was talking about me, I was like, exactly, fake. Kimmy, you know, is the consummate middleman, and it's just like, let it go. Let it go. Because Tisha worked on my damn nerves at that reunion. Destiny then comes over and interrupts them because she wants to talk to Kimmy. Apparently she's upset because they had game night last season and she and her husband were there, and her husband was like, you know, the comeback group is a good idea in, you know, theory, but it doesn't exist. Like, who owns it? And Kimmy was like, it does exist and we own it. So in the confessional, she was like, I don't know these people, so I don't know why they all in our business like this. Well, this bothered Destiny. Destiny feels like Kimmy was coming for her man. And Kimmy is like, well, I don't know you and your man. So how am I coming for you? Make it make sense, okay? Meanwhile, Mel's brother Marcus shows up, and this is when we realize that her father isn't coming. He said he had, some prior engagements, which, she doesn't doubt because he's a busybody like she is. But it still hurts that she wasn't a priority. So then Destiny, she's about to host them playing games, and she throws shade at Kimmy because whoever won was going to get barbecue chicken from their restaurant. And I guess Kimmy must have said something about the chicken at some point, and she was like, Kimmy knows about the chicken. She tried to throw a little shade at my man, didn't you, girl? You tried it, but that's okay. She was trying to be funny, but it was lame, and it was awkward, and it fell flat. And Kimmy was just like, here goes somebody else doing the most so they can be on this damn show. Maurice comes over to Martel because he wants to talk to Martel about some text messages that Martel sent to Marceau. I mean, it was actually a group text with Tisha and Maurice. And Martel was like, well, everybody's always talking about receipts, so I sent over some receipts. And I'm like, what receipts? I mean, I guess he must have sent some text messages, but really all he said was that Tisha has gotten a tummy tuck and she's gotten her butt done, and Marceau is still not happy with her. And I was just like, that's cold-blooded. Why you went for that lady like that? See what I mean? Bitch assness. And I do understand that Tisha has said and done a lot of problematic things, but there's no reason to go at her like that, to even add her in on that. But I do understand, they was throwing dirt on y'all and trying to put y'all on blast. So, I guess everybody feels like it's all fair in love and marriage. But I do agree with Martel that Maurice had a lot to say at the reunion on Tisha's behalf. Screaming and hollering about what is this gonna do for their marriage. And like Martel said, don't sit up there and defend them, and when they come at us, you have nothing to say. I don't want to hear that from you. And I agree with Martel, but I do feel like Martel is doing too much. He said he's having a good time going at Tisha and Marceau's neck. And I'm just like, see what I mean? Petty boots. So this is gonna get, this is gonna get bad. I'm guessing this is gonna get messy, and I'm gonna enjoy every moment of it. Thank you so much, Cass. Thank you, Carlos, for coming back. We appreciate you guys. Yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed the review. See y'all in the next one.